What up? This is Matt with Gear Zombie, and today we are going to play the Strymon Iridium through the Line 6 PowerCab Plus. The future can be super unpredictable. If you would have told me in 1992, when I was an 18-year-old wee lad, that we wouldn't be playing 100-watt heads into 412 cabs at like 120 person capacity clubs, I would have told you were crazy. Of course, if you would have then in turn told me that I would be locked down in my house for several months during a pandemic, the leader of our country was most recently a game show host, and I have the metabolism of a hibernating bear. I remember walking in to play in a club with a 212 combo and having this snarky sound guy put a 57 on that cab and say, "Oh, nice amp." Now, the funny thing is, these are the same sound guys that would yell at you every sound check to turn down, turn down, turn down. So we would go up with these giant rigs, and we could barely run them at a volume that would be beneficial to run a tube head and a 412 cab. You're not pushing the speakers, you're not pushing the tubes, but then you get your sound check, you can't really hear anything. They tell you they're gonna put things in the wedges. The wedges used to sound like just razor blades flying at your face. And now here we are, where you can go on stage with just this guy. Or, if you want a little stage volume, PowerCab Plus. If you don't know what PowerCab Plus is, I did a nice demo on it, but here's a quick and dirty. Okay, if by chance you don't know what the Line 6 PowerCab is, it's basically an active speaker system that's designed to use with modelers. The whole gist of it is to give you the amp in the room feeling. So while it is a full range flat response cabinet, it's not intended to sound like your other full range flat response type PA speakers, so to speak. It sounds like a guitar cab. You plug your rig into it like a regular cab, you can mic it up like a regular cab, but probably the coolest thing about it is that it's loaded up with impulse responses. So say you're running a Line 6 Helix or an Axe FX, you can run your impulse responses on the actual cabinet instead of on your modeler, giving processing power back to your modeler. And the reverb that you're hearing, that's the room reverb on the Strymon. What a fun little rig. So before you get too bent out of shape, I didn't really put any EQ or compression or really anything on those audio tracks. So like it or not, that was just dry. Any reverb or anything that you heard was coming from the Strymon. I like to kind of do it that way. I don't like to color it up unless I'm doing like a full song production thing. The problem with that always is that there's people that kind of know what they're hearing, and then there's people that don't know what they're hearing. So, but onto the nitty gritty. The Strymon is like $399. The PowerCab is like $499. So you're at $900 before tax. So, you know, figure it's gonna put you around $1,000. Is that too much money for a rig like that? I mean, I don't think so. If you bought yourself a nice combo, you're gonna be at that anyway, and you're not gonna have the flexibility that you have with something like this. With all the direct out abilities, plus the abilities to have different IRs here, this seems like a great working man's rig to me. Like if I'm gonna be in a weekend cover band and I don't wanna break my back, this is it. This guy, that for stage volume, all set, good to go. The cool thing is we're in this time where we have these options. You can play a gig with just a pedal now and not be missing anything sonically. You know, it wasn't so long ago that if you were using any kind of modeler, everybody would always say it sounds digital. And people still say that now, but the reality of it is, I mean, that's the cork sniffer attitude, right? If you're playing a Strymon pedal or an Axe Effects or whatever, and somebody says that your sound doesn't sound like an authentic tube amp, I mean, I don't know what to tell them. The other however many people in the audience, they don't know the difference. They don't care. And generally those same dudes, if you had a Mesa or a Marshall or whatever sitting in front of your Axe Effects and they couldn't see it, they'd probably tell you that your half stack sounds great. But I've taken enough of your time. If you like anything I have going on here, hit like, hit subscribe, go check out my website, social media, it's all down in the description. And if you absolutely hated me, hit that dislike button, hit it twice. Until next time, Gear Zombie.